Hey!
Hi, we're Dennis and Michelle.
As we approached an empty nest, we dreamed of the day when we could travel more.
But then we decided we should stop thinking about traveling and start actually doing it.
We are transitioning to full-time travel by first going on day trips, weekend camping trips, and sometimes even longer trips.
So come along with us as we take a trip together.
We are super excited because we just hit 100 subscribers, and we want to thank all of you for your support. We are so honored that you're following our journey.
Happy.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching us, for subscribing, and we have a ton more really neat adventures coming your way. So be sure to stay tuned. And today we wanted to talk a little bit about our adventure that we had in Cheboygan State Park. And it's a little bit of a lesser known park, so we just wanted to share what our experience was like and help you so that if you want to check it out, you will be prepared.
Cheboygan State Park. It's not a big state park. The campground is kind of on the small side. There's a total of 78 campsites, and it can't hold the biggest rigs. I would say medium to small size rigs are what can go in there.
And tents.
And tents are great. It's actually an awesome place for tents. The site we had was quite private. We had a buffer of trees on three sides. One side open to the road, but
it was pretty deep too for our tent. We were able to get way back off the road. And
for a tent, it's deep, but like I said, you're not going to get a big rig in this one. I mean, most of the sites, the majority of the sites, it's like a maximum 25 or 30 foot. The electrical service, I didn't see anything higher than 20 amp.
Right.
So
there were 7 sites that could have up to a 40-foot rig.
Right.
But yeah, the majority of them are for smaller setups, which is fine for us because we're camping in a tent this summer.
There is a bathhouse with showers and regular toilets. It's not vault toilets, but the bathrooms are old.
Yeah, there's showers, but yeah, they haven't been updated in a while, so it does the job, but you just have to kind of be prepared. It's not brand new or anything.
Right. Guys, you'll understand this when you walk into the men's bathroom and the urinals go all the way to the floor. It's those old style. So it's just really it's quite old. The campground does have 3 cabins that you can rent, as well as 2 teepees. And apparently the teepees have wooden floors and a couple of bunks in them. I don't remember all what's inside, but they're quite large.
Yeah. The teepees are actually inside the campground with everything else.
Right.
The cabins are a hike. They're very secluded, and they're a hike off of the hiking trail.
Well, yeah. Well, there is a 2-track, which is also part of the hiking trail.
That's true.
That you can drive back to them, or at least get fairly close to them.
But there's quite a bit of space around them. They're not right in the campground. They're not right next to each other. So It's kind of a nice setup.
Yeah, we didn't actually see the cabins. We didn't go look, which we probably should have,
But they're close to the Lake Michigan, they're close to the shoreline.
Yeah.
There are lots of fun outdoor things that you can do in Cheboygan State Park. They have 5.5 miles of hiking trails. The hiking trail, one of them goes out past a lighthouse ruins, which was interesting, and then heads right to the lake shore. Another fun thing to do is you can kayak in Duncan Bay, and while you're kayaking, you can kayak right over top of Leviathon, which is a ship that wrecked in Duncan Bay. Yeah. There's also a beach in the state park.
Admittedly, the beach, and I don't know if this was this way all the time, but the beach grass, which just kind of looked like wild weeds all over the place, was kind of like growing right up to the cement all around, and it was a very kind of almost overgrown look. I don't know if this was because of 2020, they just didn't take care of it as well, or if that's that way all the time. I mean, the playground, there was a slide, I remember, and a swing set, but they were kind of like in the weeds, it looked like.
You know, the theme of this park is it's older.
It is.
It hasn't been updated in a while. That is one of the cons. But one of the pros is the same thing. It is older. It's not as well known. It's not used as much. So if you're
Right.
looking for somewhere smaller, quiet, and more secluded, this is exactly what you would
yeah.
like. If you're looking for somewhere with all the bells and whistles, this is probably not the campground for you.
It kind of had a rustic vibe to it.
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic. Yeah, but it was very rustic feeling. I mean, when you're talking about campgrounds, it was very rustic feeling.
Sure. Also has the amenities. It has a bathroom.
Right.
It has a bathhouse.
Right. Yeah, it's not rustic by definition, it's a rustic feeling. Maybe one of the downsides to the park is that it's kind of on a low-lying area, which means there's a few more bugs than normal, but it was hard for us to tell because I think that time of year northern Michigan has a lot of bugs. So I don't really know that it was the park specifically, or because we went up to Mackinaw City and there were mosquitoes everywhere, and that's not, you know, when we're there later in the year, we don't experience that.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah, this was the beginning of June when we were there, so that might have had something to do with it because, yeah, it definitely was buggy.
seems like there might have been a mosquito hatch that just went wild.
Welcoming us in.
Yeah. Another thing is the campground, the roads are all gravel. And when we got there, it didn't seem to have rained there in a long time. I think it had been pretty dry and it was very dusty.
Right.
You couldn't drive slow enough on these roads to keep the dust down. It was, so just be aware, it's not a pristine paved RV park. It has that campground feel for sure with it, and it's quite dusty.
Yes.
But it did rain the one night, and the next day it wasn't nearly as bad.
One of the pros of this campground to me was location. It is only 30 minutes southeast of Mackinaw City, and this actually is where the ferry for Bois Island goes across.
Did we ever find out how to pronounce that?
I knew you were going to say that.
Okay, so yeah, Bois Island or Blanc, or I don't know. There was a third way to pronounce it as well that I've heard, and we don't really know what the exact way to say it, but it's a big island. The ferry comes from Cheboygan.
Right, and this part of northern Michigan doesn't have a lot of big cities. Smaller towns, smaller tourist towns, but Cheboygan is a place where you can load up, you can get your supplies, you can get gas for a good price.
Right.
You can get your groceries, there's a Walmart there. And we've had the situation where we were camping way on the other side of Mackinaw City and needed to get a tire repaired and drove to Cheboygan to get that tire repaired. So it's kind of a nice hub for
Right.
the area. It's got all of the services that you're going to need.
Yeah. Exactly.
So the location is excellent. If you have ever camped at Cheboygan State Park, we would love to know about it. So go ahead and leave a comment below and let us know what your experience was like and what your impressions were of the state park, because we would love to hear what you think.
And last of all, I just want to once again express our thanks to you for helping us get up to 100 subscribers. It's like our first real milestone here on this channel, and we're really happy about it, and we just want to say thank you, and we can't thank you enough.
Yes, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please
Yes.
hit that button. We would love to have you follow us on our adventures. Make sure you also hit like, and if you want to hit that notification bell so you know whenever we upload anything new, that would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Thanks again, and
Thank
we will
you.
see you next time.
I would be
Yay.
waiting for you if you had to leave.
Oh.
I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea. wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry